uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back
Yo, big shout out to the hottest chat in the MFing game. A-Side official. No negotiation needed, period. You already know. The first in the building. Carlos is on deck. What's good with it, Carlos? Salute to you, brother. From the title, it might be a bit of both when it comes to Shakur, in my opinion. Good point, good point. Shout out to Mr. Gumbo, a.k.a. Hot Grease, in the building. Salute to you, brother. I see you on deck. So you reading the title, you know, the code breaker. Shakur Stevenson, fear of losing, or flat out doesn't listen well. I want you to hear a video of Shakur post-fight in the presence of Andre Ward and Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford, Andre Ward. Andre Ward, Terrence Crawford. And I just want you to pay attention to what my title is, and then we're going to talk about what we actually hear.
I was trying to cut the rear. I heard Dre say go to the right. I went to the right. He started going left. Bro, one of y'all said go to the right. And I went that way.
Bro,
Yeah.
you was just following.
I was trying to get him.
Yeah, but you gotta jab your way. Them body shots hurt them, bro.
You know, I had him at a certain time. I started picking the pace up, but it's like he just kept like.
You wanna let your hands go. You was picking the pace up with your movement,
Yeah.
but your hands wasn't. You know what I mean?
It was a certain time I started throwing, boom, 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 boom. I just started touching them.
And then I think in the 8th and 9th, he was like, let me start moving.
I was just about to say, it's like
Like he was pump faking like he was trying to do something, but he started the first couple rounds he was sharp.
Yeah.
That third, fourth, fifth, he started like kind of
He was solid though. No cap, he was solid at first. I'm like, damn, he bouncing. He won't stay in the one spot. He just keep bouncing.
I said he was throwing you off with the
Yeah.
feints. That's why.
So, you know, two of the greats were conversing with Shakur Stevenson on the correction they was trying to make, you know, make while he was in the ring. And, you know, I guess, you know, Crawford saying he was telling you go right. And then, you know, Shakur was saying, you know, right, and Arden went left. You know, it's not like the other fighter has on earmuffs or they can't hear. We don't know if he heard or not. And then Bud said something that was a solid good point. He said you was moving. You know what I'm saying? You was moving with your body, but you wasn't working your way in with the jab. You know what I'm saying? And that was very, very good point. Where you can close distance, you moving with your body to close distance, but you're not closing distance with the jab active and letting your hands go. And that's why I say you wasn't letting your hands go. That's what you know Crawford told Shakur, but Shakur was like, you know, he was saying his own thing. I'm not here to go at no, beef with Shakur or anything like that, like he's been doing everybody else. All I'm saying is, listen to the video and listen to two of the greats speak to you. It's like, hey, I was doing this and he was doing that. Maybe sometimes when you like a student, even if that student has the same amount of divisions as a great, right? But you just haven't made it to the status of being a great. You know what I'm saying? Shakur has the same amount of visions as Terrence Crawford, as an active fighter right now. Okay. But when you compare them to, one thing we take as far as a highlight when it comes to Crawford is his method of making adjustments. He does it very, very well in adjusting. Shakur, not so much. It's not like he can't. Crawford is 36. 36 years of age, older, wiser. You know what I'm saying? Shakur is like, in his late 20s. So either way, he's gonna have to figure it out if he wants to get bigger fights in the future. And it's not like Shakur cannot box. Man, he don't have no talent. He definitely he's both of those. He can box and he has talent. But can he listen? Because, supposedly he was explaining to people why he wasn't doing what, Wally Moses was telling him to do. He was saying that, he be saying this and that. Hey, if you got people in your corner you ain't listening to, but you respect them enough, look, be in your corner, but yet you ain't listen to them, that don't make any sense. If you're going to have them in the corner, you got to listen to them. That's just the common denominator. If you're going to take the time for them to ring walk you down there and you respect them enough to have them in your corner, you have to listen to them. That's all I'm saying. If you have more and more people, let's just say you going elsewhere to get some work, outside of Texas, you're going to have to listen. I think you need to just listen a little bit more. And I don't know what you're doing. Of course, Shakur tell me, okay, you don't know what I be doing. You don't know shit about boxing. Just like Crawford said, a lot of people that comment or speak on boxing don't know what they're looking at. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying, okay, we know what we hear though. I mean, we it's not like we don't know 0% of what we're looking at. It may not be the percentage that you would think we know if we was actually in the fight. That I get. But when you hear fighters in there and hear their corner talking, I mean, a lot of us know how to interpret English. And with English, we can understand what's instructions, what's constructive and what's not constructive criticism. But at the end of the day, we see what's going on with Shakur Stevenson and William Cepeda. Supposedly, they supposed to be going to purse bid and or anything else is going on. And people saying that William Cepeda is ducking Shakur Stevenson. I hear ducking so much when it comes to boxing. I just don't hear that in mixed martial arts. I can't understand why it rains out so much. You know what I'm saying? Like a church bell when it comes to boxing. I don't know why, when we talk about boxing, there's so many cliched, default terminologies that we use that no other combat sports use. Muay Thai don't use them. BJJ don't use them. It's just boxing. We're always using the duck word. You know what I'm saying? Duck, duck, duck. Bum, bum, bum. Tomato cans. That's boxing. That's boxing. And another sense, they'll talk about how, how boxing is so tough and, it's a brutal sport. But then, you hear fighters calling one another bums or saying so-and-so fought a bum. You know what I'm saying? But what we're hearing about William Cepeda, I know a tweet came out. Let me bring in this tweet right quick from Oscar De La Hoya. Hold on for a second. Oscar De La Hoya has been very active. I like that. I like that he's been very active in talking his trash. Hold on for a second. But supposedly De La Hoya had put out a tweet and said that William Cepeda can pretty much, he's ranked number 1 in every sanctioned body, so he had his choice of the litter. You know, wherever he chooses to fight from, that's what De La Hoya was talking about. He said he can fight wherever he selects to. Pretty much saying, you know, he don't have to be forced to fight no Shakur Stevenson if he don't want to. Now, how do we look at that? I don't look at it any kind of way, man. It's just, you know, if you're going to follow me, you have to understand that I'm not just going to go off the cliche, you know, the Sinaneki, you know, the figure of speeches and stuff like that. I mean, I don't feel like I have to continue to go off that. If William Cepeda doesn't want to fight Shakur Stevenson, he won't be the first fighter. It didn't stop Isaac Cruz. Isaac Cruz, you know, pretty much avoided Shakur Stevenson and then moved from 135 to 140 to face the weakest champion in that division. And he went in there and beat him and became champion. Nobody said nothing about him ducking Shakur Stevenson because he avoided that fight, turned it down, and he left the division and went up there to a higher division and beat the weakest champion in Rolly Romero. Ain't nobody talking about that. But now, William Cepeda is the new topic of discussion. You know what I'm saying? William Cepeda is the new topic of discussion. They want to know if him and Shakur Stevenson is going to fight. Then they also want to know what the purse bid is going to be, if it's one even going down. You know, it's the same song and dance all the time, bro. Why can't we just, you know, get the information as far as, you know, if we're going to see the fight or not? You know? But for Shakur Stevenson, he can definitely box. He just have to find his niche and entertaining the fan base, the consumers, a bit better. That's all. A bit better. That's all I'm saying. You know, you heard Crawford in his interview saying they want Shakur Stevenson to be simple. They want him to be basic. And I guess basic mean, you know, him going in there and getting touched up. Him banging it out. That's what I'm guessing. They want him to be basic. They want him to bang it out. But then again, you hear people on the other side saying we just want, you know, a more fan-friendly, you know, competitive performance where people can talk highly of him and say, damn, we enjoyed that fight. Either way it goes, I don't think telling the fight fans and consumers, you know, F y'all, y'all don't know shit about boxing anyway, when, you know, the fans are the one who come and see you fight. You know, some people embrace the villain role pretty good, but, you know, Shakur Stevenson did well for himself 3 divisions. Real talk. He's did very well for himself thus far. He's a 3-division world champion, and he was unified at 130. So he's did pretty good. Shout out to Arnold Brown. Salute to you, bro. Shakur seems to have the AB with letting his hands go when need, because Shakur can't fight like that. Lower tier talent. You think you're gonna sell fights maybe in Newark? But gonna stop Canelo in the building. What's good? Shakur, like a kid that keeps talking back, no matter what you say, he got something to say back. He does, man. That's all I'm saying. You know, he's a grown ass man. He got, you know, he got a child. You know, he has 2 legends, you know, that's sitting there conversing with you, giving you advice, and you know, you just keep telling what you was gonna do. Somebody told me to go right, he went left. I mean, it comes down to, if you want to be comparable to the great, you have to learn how to make adjustments, man. without listening to the voices on the outside. Yes, we seen the video of Crawford taking instructions from Bomac. Yes, but that just goes to show you the level that Crawford is on. And like I keep telling you, maybe Shakur taking instructions differently will come a little bit later when he gets older. I can't call it. Everybody's career path is different. All I know is just seems like he has it all figured out. He'll get on there and he'll quickly take shots at those who's criticizing him. Him and Timothy Bradley has been going at each other. I get it. You don't like people criticizing you. You feel that you're doing what you're supposed to do. But to me, I just get this feeling. I just get this inclination that Shakur, who lost the gold medal round and it hurt him to his heart. You know what I'm saying? Because he was passionate about going in there winning. I did hear him say he hate losing. So when a person that hate losing is willing to do anything by all means necessary not to lose. Real talk. I mean, they willing to do anything. So Shakur, with him fighting the way he do sometime, and he may understand what is the sustainability of his chin. He may fully understand that. He may understand that he's gonna test his opponent's power right away, to kind of get a feel of how he should have, carry out the rest of the fight. He may have be apprehensive just a little bit in going in here with fighters who has punching power, because he don't want to face that loss again. He would definitely try to stay undefeated like every other fighter the majority of his career. I don't have no problem with that. But if you go in here and split them ropes and you fight a little bit scared, and the fans see it, they're not gonna want to see you fight, man. It's wild that Shakur is pretty much getting the same heat Devin Haney getting. I mentioned on a previous live before he stepped in there, I said, really when it comes down to Shakur, people don't talk about him as being pillow fisted. When they use that terminology, when it comes to Devin Haney, they don't talk about it too much. But I said that Shakur is pretty much just a little smidget in front of Devin Haney when it comes to people talking about his punching power, because he boxes a lot, hit and not get hit. And that's, I guess what Crawford was talking about. People want him to be basic and go in there and take some punishment. But I look at it as they want him to be more user friendly, more fan friendly, increase his performance value, by doing whatever it takes to do that, man. Whatever it takes. Like, I'm listening to these fighters. They'll be quick to tell us, the observer. We're the observers for a reason, because we didn't select boxing to be our profession. So everybody don't grow up saying, I want to be a boxer. So for those individuals that didn't grow up saying, I want to be a boxer, we're of course on the outside. If we tend to support boxing, we're on the outside looking in, we're collecting data. So when we collect the data and we take it through our analytical process and retransmit it, it's not going to be for everybody to like, especially the boxer that we're talking about. It don't matter. This is the way I always look at life in general, especially when it comes to boxing. You can give a boxer 100 freaking compliments, 150, 200, 300. You know what I'm saying? 1,000. Time you criticize them, everything that you all had, the bond, the laughs, everything, it seemed like it come crashing down, y'all. It seemed like it evaporates, it goes away just because you freaking criticize them one time. But yet, y'all know where I'm going with it. When it comes down to when you hear that famous saying, that infamous saying, y'all, I'm a real one. I like for people to keep it real. R-E-E-L, real. That's what they want. They want you to keep it real with the R-E-E-L. Because when you spin in the real, It's whatever that's on there. So if the reel shows that you was complimenting them 1,000 times before, that's what you spending the reel on. Just like it used to back in the day. That's what you spending the reel. That's what you looking at. That's what's playing. But if you want to keep it real, you know what I'm saying? real, and you want to keep it real, authentic, genuine, guess what? It's gonna rub some people the wrong way, especially if you're a person that's unafraid to speak out without malice. Because if you criticize people today and they don't even, you know, they just take something so crazy, bro. You know, only thing you can say something about someone's performance and say it seems like he was too fearful. You know, he was kind of scared of his opponent. You can say it in that light. Nothing vulgar and anything. He was a little scared of his opponent. Man, they go in hard on you. Get personal. Talk about your family. All that shit. So really, they don't want a real. They don't want the real. They want the real, where you just put that motherfucking press play, and you just spin the reel on how it used to be between us, when I was complimenting you a lot, when I was sitting up here, you know, checking all the box with the healthy talk. Time it got to a point where I said, so and so deserve criticism too, and that's what I'm gonna give them. Oh man, fuck you, bitch ass nigga. See, it always be your own people. It always be your own people. They the one that quick to stab you in the back. That's not it. Sometimes it is your own people, but not all the time, shawty. Not all the time. Oscar was ready for Shakur belt. Even he retired. Also, Cepeda said he wanted to fight Shakur. Bud ducked twice. Fight Shakur. Bud ducked twice. He used to be clout chasing. Bruce Gas Boxing Jackson Moore, salute to you, brother. I see you in the building, OG. How you feeling? Mike in the building. Salute. What's good with it, Mike? Yeah, I see where you at with it, Kay. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, you know, they have fun. You know what I'm saying? It's like them taking a little smoke break. The go clout chase, you know, Bud's name, and then come back to work and feel good about themselves. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that the fight is not happening. That's why I say right now, I'm not going to go, since they say this fight, since I'm saying this fight is like over 6 years in the making or something like that. We're not going to talk about Bud and Ennis like we did Spencer Crawford. Shout out to Gino in the building, man. He said Shakur just need to back his words. Look, he's a 3-weight world champion. He undefeated, bro. You know what I'm saying? He's undefeated. 3-weight world champion, undefeated. 22-0, 10 knockouts. He's 27 years old, southpaw, okay? He has some questionable performances. You know what I'm saying? The Toka Conclari, Guillermo Nakathilia. He did his thing with Heron Valdez. Looked okay. He just dropped his belts on the scales against Conceição. He stopped Yoshino. Then had a questionable with the fans against De Los Santos. And then he did very well against Artem. But not through the lens of the critics. I like what Bud said about it. Yeah, you was moving your feet, but you weren't moving your hands. Come on, man. You have to say, damn, you made a good point. Not keep on talking like, man, I was trying, man, I was doing this. You have to listen. Bud made a solid point. Yeah, you was moving. And that's why the fans were saying what they were saying. You just can't say fuck the fans. And Bud is one of your mentors. And he said you wasn't letting your hands go. You was just moving your feet. He's exactly right. He's exactly right. I can't predict what, you know, Shakur would say if asked a question. Say what went across your mind, or what were you thinking when Bud said you was moving your feet, but you know you need to move your hands a little bit more? Or was he right on that? Then he had to let us know. Okay, this is what I thought about that. If you don't think the champ was right, then you say the champ Hey, well, I heard what he said, but you know, I did what I wanted to do. Okay. If Shakur didn't talk so much, we would just look at him like Shocky Foster and not say a word. You know what? I mean, you make a solid point because we do look at the Shocky Foster and don't say a word. And, you know, I have to say, you know, I haven't seen you over here, you know, too much, but like I read and, you know, I process information. I remember, you know, especially when I was in the Corps, it used to be people that try to have a conversation with you, right? And they say, hey, I'm Scotty. I just want to let you know I'm a logical thinker. You know, they'll tell somebody who think outside the box that they're a logical thinker. I never understood what a logical thinker is, because logic is supposed to be pretty simplistic. You know what I'm saying? But that's a logical statement. You know what I'm saying? That's a logical statement. It makes sense. If Shakur didn't say anything and he just went off his performance and he didn't say too much and he was pretty banal, then we'll look at him like he was a Shocky Foster, because Shocky come to fight, and then when he fight, people say, okay, ooh, ah, wow, and then when the fight's over, he's done. Like his last fight, people felt he got robbed. I felt he won the fight, okay? But some people say, oh, it wasn't so much a robbery. Man, you can say that Shocky didn't do too much. He was playing it safe a little bit. You know, Garcia had been in there, had some experience with some big names. So therefore, you know, he had the Glock on safety a little bit. He had the Glock on safety more than he did when he had his Rocky moment, you know. But, you know, Shakur, he went the distance with Jeremiah Nakathilia. You know what I'm saying? He went the distance. But then when you get up there to Raymond Moratalia, he stopped him in the second round. And then Ernesto Mercado stopped him in the second round. You know, Shakur fought him in June of 2021. Moratalia fought him in May 2023. You know, so he even had a great moment with Miguel Burchelt. You know, Miguel Burchelt came back after his fight with Oscar Valdez where he was flatlined. You know what I'm saying? Miguel Burchelt was flatlined. He came in there and fought on his return fight, Nakathilia, and Nakathilia retired him, man, in the 6th. He couldn't come out for the 7th. So, you know, Shakur went the distance, and then you had other fighters who go in there and stop the same fighter who went the distance. Everybody's going to use that criteria as a measuring stick. That's all. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's pretty much what it comes down to. What I would ask you all to do is be patient when it comes to boxing news, because there's so many people that put out information about fighters fighting a fighter. You know, they'll come up, this fighter fighting that, and they say, huh? I heard he was fighting that guy. You have to be patient. You truly have to be patient about reading this news, because one outlet can have it this way, one can have it the other. You know what I'm saying? Let me take this down. I don't know if y'all heard, but you know, supposedly Ryan Garcia is thinking about having an exhibition match in Japan. Exhibition. You know what I'm saying? Ryan Garcia is currently suspended, but supposedly he's talking about having an exhibition match in Japan. Now, I'm not going to go too far in depth about this, but I'm pretty sure he's not doing it for free. Real talk. And if he is going over there for an exhibition fight, he's going to get paid, and he's going to be able to go and you know, get some rounds in or whatever. They don't know if it's gonna be boxing and MMA. You did see that video come out of him, rolling, and I was pretty impressed, even though that was his little brother, though. Him maintaining partial back control and then able to gain back control on his brother. He didn't look like a rookie. So that means he's been working on something. He didn't look like he was out of water when he was rolling on the mat. So, kudos to him for that. But besides what he is in boxing, he's not coming back to the sports till next April. But yet he may potentially have an exhibition bout coming up in Japan in December. For those of you Ryan Garcia fans. All right. If you seen that footage, let me see, can I bring it up right quick? Let me see, can I bring it up? There's footage out here of Terrence Crawford and Andre Ward moving around, just going through some drills. I want you to tell me what you think. Hold on for a second. That's not it. Let me see. That's not it. Hold on for a second. Well, that's a nice okey doke. They act like that particular video was posted, but yet it's a different video. That's what did I just finish telling y'all? Just be patient when you out here looking for boxing news. They put up the title of one video as if it was Crawford, moving around with Andre. I'm still trying to find out where it is, because I've been looking at it. It's really nothing, too in depth for real, but it's been circulating. It's been circulating a lot. Let me see, can I find it? People was acting like they were just going through some drills, and they say Crawford, leaked footage of Crawford's plan against Madrimov. At this point in time, it ain't really no plan, because training camp is training camp. That little, what they was doing, just remediating whatever they was going through. I mean, it's not going to change the game plan of team freaking Madrimov just because this is leaked footage, supposedly. It's not going to do anything. I'm trying to see, can I find it right quick? Let me see if I can use this right here. Let me see, can I use this right here? Okay. This is IKey TV. Once again, this is IKey TV's footage. Shout out to IKey TV. You know what I'm saying? This is pretty much, them going over some drills. I don't, see it as sparring. For one, you can look at their hands and tell they just going over drills. So here it is. Now, I don't think Team Madrimov seen that and say, "Oh my God, let's go back to the gym. We got more to work on. We see what's going on here." I don't think that was the case at all. You know, them just going through the drill and somebody recording it. Kudos to them. It was nobody I know. You know what I'm saying? It was nobody I know. Kudos to them. You know, somebody recorded a little footage and leaked it out there, but it wasn't too much going on. They wasn't even gloved up, to be honest. And, you know, Ward's been out the ring for a good minute. They was just going over some drills. Real talk. They was just going over some drills. That's all. Didn't seem like anything too exclusive as far as a game plan or anything like that. Not in my eyes, it didn't. Shout out to Andrew Charles in the building. Shakur is a little arrogant. I'll be too if I knew people couldn't hit me. I don't mind, you know, a person being arrogant. You know, that's like something they do. Like, who am I to say, okay, well, first of all, I'm not that personally close to the guy. So if he's arrogant, the only way that I feel some type of way about his arrogance is if he's disrespected me, or, you know, it was a moment where, you know, I felt that, I don't know, he was just talking, you know, being belligerent for no reason. And it was directed my way or something for no reason, whatever. Unprovoked. You know, if arrogance basically comes in the direction of somebody unprovoked, that's when I say, okay, that's a problem. You know, your ego is too big. You're arrogant about that shit. But I haven't seen that from Shakur, to be honest. I think Bud ready for 154. I agree, man. I agree. But, you know, once again, you know how the weather goes when it comes to boxing media. You have those who will stand, you know, ride hard for their fighter, and then others like to be neutral, and they want to talk about the other fighter, and then they want to talk about the fighter that, you know, has the better resume. I'm not going to ride the fence on this. I feel that Bud is going to go in there and have a superb performance again. And, you know, I understand people just want to say, well, Madrimov, did you see the video that came out? In that little trailer, man, it's going to be tough for Bud because that trailer, man, Madrimov he come from the bottom too. You know what I'm saying? When Drake's song came and started from the bottom, he was talking about Madrimov. He wasn't talking about Crawford. He wasn't. Madrimov come from the bottom, the mud. You know what I'm saying? Like great trailer. Real talk, great trailer. I'm not gonna lie. They be putting together some very, very good content when it comes to promo. Shit we'd never ever would have seen over here besides All Access. They putting together movie trailers, y'all. Edit them, all that shit of the fighter. You know, come on, man. That shit your kids can show their kids. Look at Pops. Look what happened back in the day when he went over there to Saudi Arabia and fought Madrimov for his 4th division. Look at the trailer they did. I mean, come on, man. You think fighters wouldn't want to be on that? Man, please. That's a little mini. I know he was in Creed, but that's like a mini trailer, dog, to a movie. You know, but yeah, that's just the promo leading up to the fight. God damn. Hey, through it all, though, I just look at it as Crawford being boxing IQ wise, his boxing intellect, physical fitness, his hunger, motivation, you know, him having a tenacious side of him in the ring. I haven't seen anybody as of yet that can challenge him all the way to the final bell. I'm talking about in a fight where people don't know who's the winner. You know what I'm saying? I haven't seen that yet. When it comes to the humans, you know, a lot of times, you know, we have to be convinced. I like myself, like I look at Crawford and I'm saying, you know, Madrimov has to convince me that he's the one to change people's mind. I'm not asking for much. I'm just saying he has to convince me. Right now, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that Madrimov goes in there, regardless of whatever pictures is out, he goes in there and he gives Bud a boxing lessons and shocks the boxing world. I don't see it happening. I would assume that Bud knows this is a very important fight. I definitely don't see him going in there giving us a very boring type of outing just because he's moving up the division. He didn't fight Jeff Horn that way. When he moved up from 140 to 147, he didn't fight Jeff Horn all cautious, and Jeff Horn was bigger than he was. Bigger than Crawford. He didn't fight him all, gun shy, afraid to pull the trigger, thinking Jeff Horn had all this power since he was in there with Pacquiao. He was afraid to get knocked out. I didn't see that. And it's not long. You know what I'm saying? It's not too long from now that we get to see him go in there for a fourth divisional championship. And the people that's some of them I see that's Bud haters anyway. And just to goes to show you how much they're Bud haters, they want to say all these good things about Madrimov, knowing damn well they never supported Madrimov prior to hearing that he was fighting Crawford. That's a fact. They never mentioned that man's name until they found out that he was fighting Crawford. All of a sudden, he is the best, the unbelievable, undeniable, and float like a butterfly, sting like a MF&B. You know what I'm saying? They think Madrimov is the fighter to get it done, all because they don't like Bud. I get it, man. It takes me back to Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury. A lot of them cats wasn't rocking with Fury, but just because he was in there with Deontay, they's like, we're going for Fury. We're going for Fury, no doubt. We have some people that's behind the scene that's going for Madrimov. And it's boxing at the end of the day. Do what you like. Just like, Digital Underground said, do what you like. You know what I'm saying? Hey, do what you like, man. Support who you support. That's how you cut off the ring. Yeah. Facts. They had they student was missing though. hey, Buck, I'm stopping. The student was missing. Where was the student? Was he in the hall? Who gave him a pass? He's supposed to be in there watching. Cook with Sir Senior in the building. Salute to you, brother. The ad for the fight is fire, if I say so myself. Yeah, man. The trailer, no doubt. It is. No doubt. I think Madrimov is going to be a tough opponent. But Bud dominated 147, but this division is going to be much tougher. As you view it on paper, yes. As you imagine it, okay, it should be tougher with the names that's up there, okay? I don't see it being any tougher than 147 there, Andrew. And my reason for saying that is we're talking about the accomplishments, or not the accomplishments, the achievements of the fighters that's going to be along the way, okay? So when you talk about the fighters that are current reigning defending champions at 154, just receiving the belts from Jermell Charlo's, vacated state, right? You have to say to yourself, okay, we've seen these fighters like Sebastian Fundora. He's the one everybody want to see. Like, if Crawford was going in there against Sebastian Fundora, people was like, oh, no, man. You see Erickson Lubin, man? I don't know, man. I'll say, did you see Carlos? You know what I'm saying? Did you see Carlos? Did you see him? Carlos Ocampo. Did you see him? Who would have thought he would have went 12? I mean, it's just, you got some people there like Tim Tszyu, and you say to yourself, that was a tough fight. You know what I'm saying? It was a tough fight. people would have loved to see Terrence go in there with Tim Tszyu. Then it would have been like, I don't know. I can't call it. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Tim Tszyu's tough. I don't know. You saw what he did to so-and-so? I don't know. But gauging the 147-pound competition, all right, the argument is not going to be as loud as you think, because though Terrence, is still undefeated at 147 pounds, right? And he cleaned out the division. They're going to say Errol Spence did all the heavy lifting. He did all the work. So let's just take his entire resume, Crawford's entire resume, and we already know what was said about it. All the way up to Kell Brook and Sean Porter. Oh, we already know. You know what I'm saying? Jose Benavidez, Amir Khan, Green Machine. You know what I'm saying? All those people, we already know what they said. So the person who supposedly fought the better competition was Errol Spence, but Errol Spence ended up being dusted off in 9. If you go to 154 and say that 154 should be a tougher division for Crawford, it's just going off size alone, because Crawford didn't lose at 147 and he beat a pound for pound fighter. And also you have to look at it like this too, Andrew. For 154 pounds, how many champions currently reigning defending at 154 pounds is top 5? It's top 5 on the pound for pound list. Who? Because I don't remember a 154 pound champion that was in front of Errol Spence when he was right next to Crawford. I don't remember a 154 pound champion being in front of Alexander Usyk. In a way. I don't remember it. Canelo Alvarez. I don't remember a 154 pound champion being there. Terrence Bud Crawford. Errol Spence. I don't remember them being there. So for somebody to think that it'll be tougher for Crawford, who up there gives you the impression that wasn't on the pound for pound list? Jermell Charlo was never on the pound for pound list like that in the top 5 in front of Bud. So who is he challenging? Is he challenging Naoya and in a way? Is that the person he's challenging? Canelo's at 168. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to fight. Usyk, he's up there heavyweight. Who can you measure to say that 154 pounds is going to be tougher for Bud Crawford? Based off what? It's a higher, heavier weight class? Based off what? He ain't going to give Bud a boxing lesson, but he's going to test Bud's physicality. He's going to be hard to break down. Hey, I'm not totally disagreeing with what people expect to happen, Andrew. Real talk. I'm not disagreeing what you are expecting, like a lot of people. You're expecting something to happen differently. Like you are expecting Madrimov to be competitive. You expecting him at a heavier weight class, less experience, but somehow it's the 154. People still think Bud at 135. I don't know what it is. It's almost like Tank can knock out 20 dudes. They'll still say, oh, so-and-so got a chance. He got a little punching power. He can box. Man, Tank's short. His reach is not that long, man. It's possible for him to get outboxed. They're always going to say something. I guess Bud doesn't grow into divisions or people's eye test. He's very high level when it comes to boxing. But when it comes to size, he's always in people's conversations saying, hey, man, so-and-so too small. Just like they fucked around and said with Errol Spence when they was in the first face-off over there in Beverly Hills. And Spence did look much bigger than Crawford. But I was saying to myself, boxing fans, they have to weigh in. What's wrong with y'all? If Crawford allowed himself to balloon up in weight, in between fights, then that's a different story. And even then, I don't think he will walk around, super heavy like that and put on weight like Spence did. Because Spence did look big over there in Beverly Hills in the first weigh-in. People's like, oh man, Errol Spence made Crawford look like his little son. And then he went in there and got dusted. You know what I'm saying? The same thing here. Crawford say, hey, I believe, I'm definitely going to feel stronger up there. He don't have to cut down to 147. Madrimov is already up there at 154. But this is all WCS is saying. Who at 147 was considered to be a pound for pound in front of Crawford or equal to Crawford? Who was up in the top 6 from 54? Was it Jermell Charlo? I don't remember seeing Charlo except on the mugshot. He wasn't there in the top 6, top 5. Wasn't. Tim Tszyu wasn't up there. Sebastian Fundora wasn't up there. Madrimov wasn't up there. So does Madrimov really have the window of opportunity like y'all giving him? Hey, who knows, man? I don't want to be a bomber and ride hard for Crawford and just totally shut, Madrimov's chances down like I did Spence Rather. No chance. Look, physically matched up, 1-on-1, I give Errol Spence no chance of beating Crawford. If you're talking about a fixed fight with a referee, and y'all remember that. I don't want to have that mentality or get people frustrated and say that Madrimov don't have a chance. I don't want to do that. I said that about Spence because I've seen him fight certain opponents, in the 147-pound division, and we was able to gauge how he looked. I've seen Madrimov several of his fights. He doesn't impress me when it comes to basically challenging Crawford in a different way. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why people keep gravitating to size. Sometimes size matter. But we just seen Tyson Fury get beat up by Alexander Usyk. How many times do we have to see things for these boxing fans to stick with it? It's almost like they see it happen and they don't go the way they thought. My boy Zerto went in there, looked big as hell against Bivol and got the brakes beat off of him. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? Look at Jahai Tucker. Jahai went in there against Francisco Verón, dog. Verón was in there trying to goddamn knock his chin into the second row. All because Nico Segnashvili was able to land a shot in the first round. He came in there fighting as high as 175 previously. Why do boxing fans continue to assess size and they see fighters smaller than these big guys beat them up and still go in here, hey man, Madrimov much bigger than Crawford? No shit. He's a natural 154 pound. I know one thing we're not talking about. Nobody's talking about rehydration clauses when it comes to Madrimov and Crawford, huh? They don't care. They want Madrimov to come in there weighing 170. You hear nobody's talking about rehydration clauses now? You notice that? Nobody's talking about rehydration clauses, y'all. No. F that nigga. Man, he chose to always want to goddamn move up. He trying to goddamn be another division and all that and trying to do too much, nigga. Don't have no rehydration clause. Go in there and get that ass beat, man. Don't put no rehydration clause up there. And nobody ain't talking about the rehydration clause with Crawford. Nobody's talking about the usual language. All this little shit we talk about with these lower divisions. Is somebody talking about Madrimov weight bullying? Are they talking about the same shit they was talking when Bud said he wanted to fight Canelo? Is it okay? Will it be okay when he goes in here and fight Madrimov and say he still want the Canelo fight? Will y'all give him a better chance, You know what I'm saying? Once he goes in here, collect these belts at 154, we all say, okay. Madrimov looked Madrimov looked bigger than Canelo in that fight, and Bud went in there and finished him in 8. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, Canelo, yeah. I mean, he ain't talking about Canelo right now. But all I'm saying is I don't hear the same language. I don't. Zoo Charlo Fundora was ready to duck Bud. That's half of 154. You know what I'm saying? Real talk. And that's why I was saying, you know, Andrew, like, yeah, it looks good. It sounds good. It looks good. But none of them cats was on the pound for pound list with Crawford. And the reason why his win over Spence looked so good, because both of them was campaigning. They was tenants on the pound for pound list, bro. And it was so much talk about them. And they kept them on the pound for pound. And, you know, Crawford kept winning. Spence kept winning. And, you know, Spence was a unified. Crawford still maintained the WBO, and they finally clashed, and we seen the results. You know? Who's undefeated at 154 besides Bud and Madrimov? Who's undefeated at 154 besides Bud and Madrimov? Good question. Look, we know what. Hey, good question, Sir Senior. We know very well that it doesn't have to go or be about undefeated. We seen that with Sebastian Fundora, who was coming off a knockout loss to Brian Mendoza, him stepping in there against Tim Tszyu, you know what I'm saying, as a late replacement. Nobody was talking about, I mean, one too many people talking about, oh man, he's coming off a loss, man, he don't deserve that. No, we was like, okay, good. That's a better fight than Keith Thurman. You know what I'm saying? That's a better fight than Keith Thurman. What you mean, Christopher? You was confused. Let me know what you're talking about, because I was talking. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mr. Golden. Salute to you, OG. How you feeling, bro? He said, Mr. White, you trolling. He trolling, man. Madrimov is kind of a wild card, I think. I just don't know that much about him. I've watched a couple of his fights. He's tough. I'm not saying he ain't tough. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Madrimov ain't tough. But we have two tough fighters that's going to be in there come August 3rd. I'm not saying Madrimov isn't tough, but, you know, all I'm saying is him moving up to 154, where are the hitters at? Like I think Sir Senior just mentioned about undefeated records. You know, Madrimov and Bud Crawford both have O's on their record. You know, but even then, we got to look at the QOP quality. I mean, why did I say QOP? I was cross-threading. The quality of opposition when it comes to the 154 champions. You know, Spence is even said he was gonna potentially fight Sebastian Fundora sometime down the road. He himself is coming off a loss, just like Sebastian Fundora was when he stepped in there with Tszyu. Like, look, the reason why we haven't heard anything, because they're gonna take their time and drag their feet, I guess. But the positive part about it, if they're trying to say, okay, we want to line up Crawford and Spence once more, they're out of sight. You know, Spence and Fundora, they in the WBC. Okay. So if it's true that Crawford may potentially fight for the IBF at the end of the year, that'll be great. It'll be one more belt. This time it'll be Crawford with the 3 titles. And then if Spence is able to go in there, he will have the WBC title. You know what I'm saying? Just a little difference in the amount of titles heading to a freaking undisputed. That would be a fight that built itself back up. Real talk. I mean, if that was to play out that way, if they can make it play out that way, it would be unbelievable. It would have taken a short window for that to regenerate the amount of attention that it needs from 2023 to 2025. Just like a 2 year period of Bud beating up Spence, Spence coming off that loss and beating Fundora, and then potentially, and possible in a not a fairy tale, but a grandiose conclusion. We have Bud Crawford, Errol Spence fighting at 154 for the undisputed titles again in Vegas. I mean that's a, once again, people gonna look at that shit like, okay, if Spence can beat Fundora, man, he got a damn good chance. He got a damn good chance with Bud at 154. He was weight drained. You see what he did? You know what I'm saying? All they need from Spence is just the eye test to tell them, okay. He was weight drained. You know what I'm saying? He running up St. Charles Hill. It was too much on his legs. He looked high. This time he looked sharp. He went in and got the win against Fundora. All they need is a moment where Spence comes out victorious. No. We don't need the Tony Weeks moment now. We don't need for a referee to go in there and stop the fight and tell Fundora he was hurt. We don't need that. That's called corruption. That's called corruption. No, we need it to end naturally by knockout or via decision to sail the fight up the road. Now for Crawford's fight against Madrimov, I don't have the same energy to say that Madrimov don't have a chance to win. You know what I'm saying? Because it would get people in a state like, how do you know? He haven't even fought. And see, that's my whole point. They'll tell me, how do you know he don't have a chance to win? And that's my whole point. Madrimov haven't fought nobody Crawford. I'm just saying. So I really don't want to be a stinker. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to release a smoke bomb and smoke up the place. You know what I'm saying? Just because I'm saying Madrimov don't have the experience nor the boxing IQ to beat Crawford. I don't want to use the same shit I said and meant with Errol Spence. That's all. I don't think Spence could beat Madrimov based on what I've seen. Spence likes to bang and Madrimov bang harder. Yeah, that styles, you know what I'm saying? Styles would clash different, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they happy. You know what I'm saying? They glad. They don't want to hear nothing about no freaking rehydration, nothing. Hey man, you like they say like 176. So? Bud asked for it. So? Don't come to me about Bud asked for it. Deal with it. They ain't gonna show Bud no love, bro. I see Bud getting rocked in this fight, then he's going to stop Madrimov. Hey man, if people see things, right? You know what I'm saying? Just because Kendrick Lamar say he see dead people in the beginning of his song don't necessarily mean he's seen dead people. So I just take it with a grain. You know what I'm saying? That's all that OG. I just take it with a grain. If that's what you see, that's what you see. You know? It's my nerves talking. I can't remember the last time, if ever, I wasn't 100% confident in victory for Bud. I get it, man. You know, people are looking at this like Madrimov came out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? He was lying. He lined himself up to fight Bud. And people need to understand, not too long ago, Jamel Charlo was the undisputed champion at 154 pounds. And nobody's talking about it. Nobody's talking about it. He went up there and fought Canelo and just disappeared. Ghost. And then try to come out and say, oh, I'm coming out and activate my... No, it didn't even fucking work. But nobody's talking about he was undisputed. That's come and went, bro. It's gone. It's gone. Shout out to Blue Hustle in the building. What's good with it? I see you on deck, man. Okay. Appreciate that, Christopher. Christopher said you confused by the thumbnail. So the thumbnail was pretty much based off them in the locker room after his fight, and Crawford was explaining to Shakur Stevenson that, you know, Shakur was talking to him and Andre Ward, Crawford and Andre Ward, about somebody said go right, and then, you know, Artem went left. You know, and they was trying to say that you weren't letting your hands go. And that's what the quote is up there. Bud say, hey, you weren't letting your hands go. You was closing distance with your movement, but you wasn't letting your hands go. So that's what Shakur's up there for, and Crawford's talking. You know what I'm saying? They're in the locker room after the fight. That's what that was, that Chris. You know what I'm saying? That clears it up. That's what that was. They was back there, and Crawford was telling them, hey, you weren't letting your hands go, man. Your feet was moving, and you was closing distance without working the jab. You got to work the jab. He was trying to explain to him. You know, he made a solid point. Real, you know, so a very solid point. Cepeda looks like he might duck Shakur. Hey, I don't. How is it a duck though? How is it a duck? For real, how's it a duck? I mean, Oscar De La Hoya said William Cepeda is #1 in 4 sanctioning bodies. You know, when it came down to Shakur, they tried to screw him over when he was going in there to fight Oscar Valdez. They tried to stand. They did send for a quick snippet Emmanuel Navarrete in there to face Oscar. Then somebody made a big stink about something, and then they put, you know, Shakur Stevenson over there, and he was able to go in there and beat Oscar Valdez. You know, hey. Capone said Shakur hands was hurting. I mean, that's what he said. He said his hands was hurting. But when he was talking to Ward and Crawford in the locker room, he didn't mention anything about his hands. They was talking to him about, you know, Crawford was talking to him about letting his hands go. You know, let your hands go. Your feet was moving, and you was moving to close distance, but your hands, you weren't working behind the jab. You should let your hands go a little. That's what Crawford said now. So if Crawford's saying that, you know, Shakur shouldn't get mad at anybody when they say, well, you didn't let your hands go like you're supposed to on that night. It shouldn't be like, well, you don't know what you was watching. Have you ever boxed or whatever? And then that person can say, well, I just heard, you know, Terrence Crawford said to you post-fight. I just want to know your thoughts on it. Give your thoughts on he's saying that you didn't let your hands go. You was moving your feet, but your hands wasn't moving. And you should have worked the jab more. That's what he said on the interview. That's all. That's all I'm saying. Shout out to Jessica in the building. I see you, Queen. Evening. What's good? What's good? Najee from Cigar Talk said he's trying to get the Al Heyman interview. He'd be a legend if he does that. Now, hey, I'm going to go on record, okay? Everybody's listening. He's not getting that Al Heyman interview. No time soon. Now, 15 years from now, yeah. But he ain't getting no Al Heyman interview. I know he hot right now and so forth, but he ain't getting no Al Heyman interview. And I agree. If he does get that, yeah, he'll be different. He gonna be different. His shit gonna go through the motherfucking sky. Real talk. He would have been able to do something that nobody has been able to do up to this point. Get a one-on-one exclusive with Al Heyman. It ain't fucking happening. Once again, I repeat to all who shall hear these pleasant greetings, Cigar Talk is not getting the Al Heyman interview. There's too many things going on as to why Al Heyman is a ghost. Okay? Hella downfall by the Charlos. At one point, they were considered two of America's best, a dynamic duo. Maul still in the mix, maybe. Yeah, we waiting on Maul to come back and see what happened. You know what I'm saying? We waiting on to see what happened, bro. They can stay away from the mug shots. You know, no problem, no problem. You know what it is, man. Shakur hands was hurting. Shakur Shakur said his style is an art. Hey man, boxing is a martial art too. People don't look at it like that, but it is a martial art. Boxing is a martial art, man. Seriously. And if a boxer feels that their skill set is an art, then who am I to say otherwise? If Shakur believes his style is an art, then so be it. You know what I'm saying? So be it. I don't have no kickback from that, because that's what he believes. Look at all the emojis, man. I mean, that's what he believes, bro. Let that man believe. I believe. Let that man believe. You know what I'm saying? For real, I can't go against if he believes his skill set is an art. You know what I'm saying? His type of style. Who am I to say otherwise, bro? I'm not going to go against, he the one going in there. He's a 3-weight world champion. Believe it or not, Shakur Stevenson is going to be a Hall of Famer, man. For real. Just like Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner, I don't know what ballot he's going to be on to get in, 3rd, 4th, I don't know. But Shakur Stevenson, man, he's already a 3-weight world champion. He's not even in his 30s yet. Hey, shout out to Tough Glove Boxing in the building. What's good with it, brother? How you living? Definitely check out Tough Glove, man. You know what I'm saying? Sub to the brother, support him. You know what I'm saying? He be over there doing his thing, man. Talking that fire boxing, and check him out and support him. Appreciate you pulling up, man. Shout out to Christopher White with the $2 super chat. Lighting up the tree of life for WCS. I appreciate you always, man, for your support. One love to you as always. Good advice by Terrence Crawford. Yeah. Terrence told him some good advice, man. Whether he sticks, that's up to him. I think he needs to be a better listener. That's all I'm saying. He needs to be a better listener. I don't want no smoke with no Shakur. He's on a rampage right now. I don't have nothing to do with that. I don't get into to all that outside stuff with these guys with, Mason and Cam and all them. Every time I met Jay Prince, it was all love. I'm not getting in no back and forth on what he should do. Every time I met Jay Prince, it was all love. I ain't got shit to say about him. You know what I'm saying? He showed me nothing but love. I seen someone do a side-by-side comparison of Shakur and Bud's hand size, and Shakur does have some small hands compared to Bud, at least. Maybe that's a factor, maybe it's not. I have to check that out, man. Where can I see that? You know what I'm saying? Do you remember where it was at? If you see it, man, hey, if you able to screenshot it, can you drop it to my IG, man? You know what I'm saying? I'm always game to put a thumbnail up with a story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, let me see that. Nothing you can do about genetics. No. Nothing you can do about genetics. But to hear them tell it, you seen the size of Bud's hand. So they saying that the glove, it wasn't because of them paws that was in them gorilla hands. It was because he tried to cheat and he wanted to turn it into a bare knuckle. That's why his gloves was freaking breaking apart. He wanted to turn it into a bare knuckle fight. Shakur, at this point, you can just borrow my hands. I'm sick of the hands exercise. Maybe he needs a new career. I don't know if he got fragile hands or he's hurting his hands. He's really gonna have to find a way to stick behind that jab, or just find a way, a certain strategy on how to place his punches. Because if you say your style is an art, well, learn how to paint them fight strategies different every time you enter the ring. Because if you got small hands and you keep hurting your hands, stop saying you're gonna knock people out if your hands are not, stable enough to do it. Stop saying you're gonna knock people out, bro. Key said, do y'all remember when Bud told EJ nobody said Floyd was too little? Skills pay the bills for the new haters waiting for Bud to lose. Get on the back of the line. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's a good reflection right there. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't talking about no rehydration clause, nothing like that when it comes to freaking Bud stepping up to 154. They want Madrimov to come in there looking like a cruiserweight. You know what I'm saying? He want to be great all the time. He ain't never satisfied. He don't have to go for no fourth division. He already Hall of Famer. He 2-time undisputed. You know, pound for pound. You know, multi-time lineal champion. How much he need? You know, that's what they saying about Bud, man. He doing too much. He doing too much. Oh hell yeah. Yeah. I remember when I got that blunt, it dropped that to me, and I was like, I didn't really post it right away because for one, I wasn't at my station, but I was like, damn, are they really sleeping like that? God damn, you know, is it for real? For real? You know, is it really like that? Is Crawford struggling to stay awake? Seriously. Look, I think that's, if anything, he should be mad at. Forget being mad at anybody else at Top Rank. You know, I mean, anybody else that was talking about it. Talk about what happened. You know? But when they released this picture right here, I think it superseded that of Bud, Andre, and all them struggling. It's just bad. The reason why it's bad, because this is not even the one that I put Shakur up there, but they have a lot of black people that was obviously facing away from the ring, like they didn't give a damn about who was in there fighting. Oh, I mean, the place looked like it's packed out, but you know, whoever did this, the black fight fans, they say it was sending a message like they didn't care to see Shakur, or this could have been a Newark type thing. I don't know, man, but they had, you know, all the brothers up there sleep with their mouth open and shit like they was bored to death. Savage, bro. Super duper opa savage. Hey, Bud gonna stop Canelo. Why you had to bring it up, bro? Man, we heading into this freaking August 3rd fight in peace. God damn. You had to bring this up. Now somebody gonna drop a link. Hey man, you might want to go over there and say something to WGN, man. Yeah, that high, man. He had to put that picture up there, man. Goddamn Bud and saw Canelo up there instigating shit and antagonizing motherfuckers. Goddamn scorch their ass, Shakur. Scorch their ass. Man, stop it. I didn't have nothing to do with them, but they had a lot of my people on that painting. Whoever, you know, was the person that considered, you know, that art, they painted that motherfucking picture. That shit went viral. Look, that picture went viral. That picture went viral. For real. We supposed to be heading into this motherfucking fight in peace. We about to get past the mid part of the year. We supposed to be looking for some big fights on the back end. You know, we supposed to be hoping, wishing, and praying. God damn it! But people bringing up old thumbnails. Why would you want to see this? Who's to even say that was because of Shakur? Who's to say that ring was in Newark? Who's to say it? Do any one of y'all in the chat know these brothers? I want to interview one of them. Any one of them knowing they sleeping with their mouth open. They look like the same brother, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Anybody know them? They had to get these facial structures from somebody. That look like Spencer behind. You know, that dude that got his head cocked to the side. I mean them brothers in deep sleep. How did their chairs get turned around the opposite way, man? Who is this artist, man? You are savage, bro. You have everybody else facing the ring. It's not even the motherfucking second fighter in the ring. I gotta take this down. For real, I gotta take it down. They carry that Reebok jumpsuit that Bud had on in Walmart. Is Devin sponsored by Reebok? Yeah, Shakur Stevenson is sponsored by Reebok. Yeah, Shakur is sponsored by Reebok. Let's see, jumpsuit that Bud had on Walmart. I know Shakur is sponsored by Reebok. You know what I'm saying? He's sponsored by Reebok. Tank is the best at 35, 40, 47, 54, 60, 80, any weight class, any division. We're gonna, you know, I see you typing. But we cannot deter from the subject at hand. Where's the other one? Though? I know I have it saved. Because people went savage after that fight, dog. They went savage, man. Where is it? They was savage with it. I don't have it. Thank God, because I don't need to put that shit up there. Thank God I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad I don't have it. That don't need to go up there. Y'all up here, you know, being instigators, bro. Real talk. We supposed to be on some positive shit. You know what I'm saying? On some Public Enemy positive stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know the song I'm talking about. Fight the Power. We supposed to be on some positive movement, Public Enemy shit. And y'all bringing up that photo of black people sleeping the opposite way with Shakur being in the ring. That's savage. Look, that's what I want to know. Why couldn't he find his people to see who painted that picture? You don't need to be mad at anybody else. Find the artist and put them on blast. That's all I'm saying. Find that artist and put him on blast. Him or her. Put them on blast. Because they did you dirty. They arranged the seats of black people facing away from the ring. How does that work? But shout out to y'all, man. Salute to everybody tuned in. Big salute to the hottest chat in the MF and game. A-Side official. We should do it again. Continue to support. Hit the like on your way out. If you select to support the channel, you already know. Here's the Cash App, and you can support the $ below. I am monetized, you know, for now. You know what I'm saying? Those of you that choose to donate, understanding that the monetization via YouTube or the Cash App. Shout out to Christopher White for donating once again. I'm out. Peace.